it lets us know going into Elder Scrolls 6, this is a game we need to design and people will play for a decade at least.
So, technologically.
Gaming is a set of moments. Moments that captivate us. Moments that make us sad and angry or give us a feeling of pure bliss. Moments of decision-making, consequence, and discovery. And few series attempt to, let alone succeed, in truly capturing these moments. Thinking back over my gaming career, there are a select few games and franchises that I would consider great. Worlds like Mass Effect, Zelda, and The Witcher have captivated me for hours upon hours, taking me on journeys that, quite frankly, made me feel like a kid again. But there is one series that has stood above everything, whether that be in film, novels, or in other games themselves. There is one series that has for longer than any other, through my childhood all the way up until today, piqued my interest. And that is the world of Elder Scrolls. Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun one. Recently, Bethesda has run into what can only be explained as a major crossroad. For as long as we can remember, they designed games that we have loved to play and become immersed in for hours on end. But with the recent entries into specifically their Fallout series, that being Fallout 4 and 76, they have seemingly in many ways begun to lose their way. Fallout 76 was ridden with game-breaking and immersion-destroying bugs, and Fallout 4, by a majority of accounts, had lost some of the magic that made Bethesda games so great in the first place. In one of my recent YouTube videos, I talked about Starfield, what I wanted Bethesda's next game to be, and what, quite frankly, it needed to be to save their legacy. With a new series and the recent backing of Microsoft, Starfield is set to be a huge turning point for Bethesda, to win back the hearts of their fans, as well as trying new and interesting ideas in a new game engine. But in all honesty, Starfield is in many ways just another step. A very big step, but another step nonetheless, towards the franchise that started it all for Bethesda, the Elder Scrolls. And with the legacy and memories that the Elder Scrolls has instilled in all of us, it is vital that Bethesda's next entry into the series is its best. By focusing on what they have done so well in the past, yet also targeting points of improvement that they have struggled with for so long, Bethesda has in their hands the potential to make a truly revolutionary game. So then, how exactly does Bethesda design a masterpiece? Let's talk about it. Do you remember the first time you exited the sewers into the world of Oblivion? Or the time you first walked off the boat in Morrowind? The first dragon you slayed in Skyrim? The building and swelling of music as you snuck up on enemies in a dungeon? The sense of wonder looking into the world that you knew was yours? Yours to explore, to learn about, and become engrossed in. This is what made Bethesda games so great. More than any other series of games I have played, Bethesda games have an extremely effective way of making you enjoy the journey as opposed to the destination. In all modern Elder Scrolls games, you are thrown into the world almost immediately, with a main quest to guide you should you need it, but more importantly, an expansive and open world at your fingertips, right from the get-go. Minus short prologues, Elder Scrolls games truly do throw you in head first. Your first adventure isn't likely what the game told you to do, but rather what first caught your eye. In Skyrim, one of the first landmarks you will likely come across is a river flowing gently down a rocky hillside, with a path accompanying it on the side. And as you approach the river, the music swells. The sounds of animals can be heard off in the distance, and the soothing sounds of rushing water as it passes by the rocky hillside. On your walk, you likely caught sight of some weird-shaped stones, upon which further inspection turn out to be blessings you can take for your character. The HUD is sparse compared to most games you've played, and instead of a mini-map, all you have is a compass, which means most of your attention can stay where it matters, the gameplay. In just a mere matter of moments, an Elder Scrolls game can immerse you in few ways other games even can hope to. And this is the core of what makes people fall in love with Bethesda. The sense of meaningful exploration and discovery of new and interesting places. Characters that walk on the roads as you do, with their own stories to tell, and towns scattered throughout your path where you can go on grand adventures and quest lines. The games are fun because there is always a feeling of mystery, and wonder of what could be beyond the ridge you are traversing. Finding books in abandoned tombs that tell stories of struggle and hardship for those that dwelled below long before. Walking into a burnt-down house in the middle of a quarry that has notes left behind from the person that perished in the flames. Everywhere you go in a Bethesda game has a sense of charm and awe to it. A story that is begging you to explore and prod more. Every new town and environment has a tale to tell, and this is largely accomplished through environmental storytelling and, as I said, mystery. If you notice in most Bethesda games, some of the most interesting and, funnily enough, best written parts are actually just in random books you find. Empty campfires with blood marks around them, indicating a lost battle, and quieter sections of just looking at your surroundings to piece together what has already happened. And this is Bethesda's biggest strength, but at their same time, their biggest weakness. Because Elder Scrolls has such a great sense of presence, of putting the player in the moment, but it can be lacking in other ways. While at one moment you may be swimming up to a Daedric shrine and becoming immersed in the bruised and bloodied environment around you that tells the story of a great and evil prince who sacrificed his followers to his god, the second you talk to him, the facade falls apart, quite frankly. Assuming the character lines aren't already read wrong.
Got a pretty full stock of potions and alchemy reagents.
You will likely be fed an interesting story, but the fun evidently stops there. Because one thing Elder Scrolls is so lacking in is choice and agency. You may hear interesting stories and experience interesting things, but when you finally get to talk to the protagonists of these stories, your options simply dwindle down to, tell me more, I'll do whatever you tell me to, and I'll do whatever you tell me to, but not until I come back when I'm done with all my other quests. There are no interesting choices to be made, impactful decisions to ponder over. In Elder Scrolls, you simply are told an interesting story and forced to experience it as intended. Your choice instead is dictated by what weapons you bring to the battle, whether you will be sneaky or bombastic. But at the end of the day, you will likely be doing the same thing you always have. A glorified fetch quest where you kill some undead creatures in a cave and allow the story to unfold further. And while this can, and provedly has already shown to be a way to make people play and buy your games, it is a distinctly lazy approach. In games like Deus Ex and the recent Prey game, your choices and horizons are much more expanded. You can decide to tackle missions in a variety of ways. One of my favorite examples I love to use in my videos all the time is from Prey, where at the start of the game, you can see a balcony above you that is only usually accessible later in the game. But if you are fast enough on your feet, you may have noticed that you can use your newly acquired glue cannon to instead shoot a makeshift bridge and walk your way to the top. Something the gun is not even intended to do, but the game does not shy away from allowing you to use its systems in interesting ways. Doing so allows you to get some high-level materials and secrets usually only seen later in the game, but the sense of satisfaction and agency of giving the player the ability to do so is immensely powerful. And this is what Bethesda has completely lacked in the Elder Scrolls series. You are told an interesting story, and you are immersed by the world as it happens around you. But when the game actually decides to be, well, you know, a game, it fails miserably. Instead of constantly allowing you to figure out new paths and ways to solve problems, Elder Scrolls games force you down a path where, yes, you can pick how your character will look and even how they will do damage, whether that be by bow, sword, or magic. But it is missing the most crucial and underlooked part, the player themselves. You see, games as a medium are unique in that they provide their user with a sense of true agency no other medium can achieve. In a book, you read about the character. In a movie, you watch the character and their story. But in a game, you are the character. And this pivotal point is where Bethesda, especially in their recent iterations, has let us down. As good as they are at engaging us in the worlds they create and crafting worlds that we can spend hours upon hours in, they fall flat in giving the key part of their games, the player, the agency that could elevate their play so much. One mission that comes to mind in the Thieves Guild in Skyrim shows a glimpse of this, but Bethesda should strive to do so much more in the Elder Scrolls 6. In this mission, you are tasked with lighting fire to multiple beehives, all surrounded by a bandit camp. The reason the mission stood out to me was because during the mission, there's actually a secret underwater door that you can unlock to break into the camp and steal supplies before you sneak around more. And I found this sort of gameplay much more engaging than what I had become accustomed to, of just simply walking in and killing everything without a thought. Bethesda needs to expand on missions like this and allow more options for the player. Let us talk to a guard that knows someone at the camp and give us a way in. Let us inside with the beekeepers to hear their side of the story and give us more ways to solve and interact with quests that leave us with a sense of satisfaction, rather than the feeling that we simply went on another fetch quest. And it is not only that, because another and maybe even more important thing that the Elder Scrolls series has always struggled with is that of being a deeply considered world. What I mean by that is that Elder Scrolls at its surface level is compelling, but as you dig deeper and peel back the layers of the onion that is the Elder Scrolls series, the facade starts to fall apart. In Death Stranding, spoiler alert by the way, the rain in the game will cause all things it hits to age, whether that be people or all of the living things around them. On the surface level, this is a cool feature, just like the destruction magic in Morrowind Oblivion and Skyrim is a cool feature. After all, who doesn't want to shoot fireballs out of their hands? But this is where the games diverge, and a weakness in the Bethesda titles bows its head. You see, in Death Stranding, the rain mechanic at first just means your character tries to avoid the rain, wearing a coat, etc. And this slowly devolves into cutscenes watching characters die agonizing deaths by aging in a fully matter of seconds. And this cycle fully culminates in what many may not have even noticed on their playthroughs. Because as you were traveling around the world of Death Stranding, you may have noticed that there was almost no wildlife, and a seemingly desolate wasteland mostly devoid of plant life as well. And if you were paying attention, this is when you may realize why that is. Why the world has been so barren, so gray for so much of it. It was because of the rain. You see, Death Stranding truly considered what it would mean to be in a world with demon death rain. It looked into the struggles characters would go through, the ingenuity they would come up with, and most importantly, how the world would be affected. For those that do come to the realization while playing Death Stranding, it is profoundly powerful and impactful. It makes the world feel real, lived in, and like it has a true history. In Elder Scrolls, we see the exact opposite. In a world where so many people can easily use magic, why is it not more of a concern? Why are prisoners left to sit in a cell when they could be potentially casting magic and killing everyone instantly? Something I'm sure most of you have done when escaping from the prisons in Oblivion and Morrowind. Why are the prisoners not given anti-magic potions? Why are blacksmiths so plentiful when you could simply hire a mage to blast a sword with fire for you during the smelting process? It is questions like this that, while on the surface are seemingly harmless, it is exactly what is holding Bethesda back from making a masterpiece. Imagine the world of Skyrim, with all the mystery and exploration, the breathtaking music and environmental storytelling, but now housed in a more considered world. One where the ramifications of magic and portals and the effect of all systems in the game would have on one another, like the economy, politics, policing, and everything else, are more realized. A world in Tamriel where things are not only interesting to explore on a surface level, but by digging deeper and uncovering the mysteries, they become interesting not just because of the idea of mystery itself, but because it ties into how the game world is designed and how the systems work. A world in Tamriel where each mission is treated with love and care, and instead of being a fetch quest, is a deeply thought out and designed space where multiple interesting avenues of success are explored. While it is a harder type of game to make, it assuredly is what Bethesda must move to if they want to expand across what they have already conquered so well. Bethesda games have always had a certain magic to them. A sense of magic that no other developer has seemed to be able to grasp, bar maybe Obsidian with Fallout 76. But as the industry has progressed and grown, Bethesda, and the world of Elder Scrolls with them, have in many ways not advanced with it. If Elder Scrolls 6 is truly going to be a masterpiece, Bethesda must draw on what they have already done so well, but also consider the systems in their world and how they will interact, while designing better and more thought-out mission structures, and combine this all into a shell that we could truly call revolutionary. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for listening to my thoughts on what really a perfect Elder Scrolls 6 would really be. And hopefully Bethesda can kind of look into making some of these changes, as they do have a long time before the next Elder Scrolls game is potentially coming out. And I'd like to know down below what you guys think makes an Elder Scrolls game great. What do you think is good, and what is something that they could improve on for their next iteration in the series? I really enjoy making videos like this though, and I appreciate your guys' feedback and as support, as it really helps improve my writing and filmmaking with every iteration. So thanks a lot for the support, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I'll keep putting in the work to make sure I can make more and more videos for you guys. And as always, if you guys would like to support me further, also go check me out at twitch.tv/FranklyGaming to talk with me about stuff like this live, and just get to know me on a personal basis as well, as that is my main social media platform that I'm trying to grow with YouTube and everywhere else I'm at. But as always, I'll see you next time.